Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and it's time for more Modern Horizons spoilers. Oh boy, you know Modern's my favorite format, so this is just getting me so excited. By the way, some of you have apparently missed the fact that I haven't played Modern in 3 years, so if you're like, how could you have this big of a YouTube channel and not know that much about Modern? Because I don't care, and I don't play it. I mean, there's 2 reasons. You want some more? It's a broken, too fast, mismanaged format that needs about 20 more cards banned from it. I mean, there's some more reasons for you. Anyway, I do care about how much it's worth because I have to make a purchase decision on it fairly soon. So let's jump into them. By the way, I've been warned by multiple of my patrons on Patreon that there is something I really will not like in this set of spoilers. But as is tradition, I haven't looked at or read any of them. So first look at Echo of Eons. Oh, this better not be a Nexus of Fate or I will lose it. Let's see, it's a mythic. Okay. It's a 6-cost sorcery in blue, so I don't know who they think they're kidding that this will be played in Modern. Well, then again, this set has nothing to do with Modern. So each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. Okay, this would like wreck somebody if you had Forced Fruition in play. Oh, by the way, Flashback 3, which is half the initial cost. So I guess if you had some kind of weird self-mill deck, you could run this to refill your library, but I have never had somebody do this, get rid of everything and draw 7 thing to me and not had it spectacularly backfire on them. You can't give any of my Modern decks, and I have 4 that I commonly play with, and all 4 got stolen. But before then, you could not give any of them 7 cards and hope to survive. You cannot do that mid-game. You'll lose. So, I mean, this is kind of like a dumb Wheel of Fortune that affects both people. It's too expensive. It's too slow. You can't do it off your turn, and I don't know. I'm sure there's some combo that goes with this, but for 6, I'm failing to come up with it. So who knows? Probably goes in some deck, but it seems really dumb to me. Very specific, very slow, very weak. And next up, we've got Forgotten Cave and the rest of the cycle lands. Oh boy. These are reprints, by the way, and they're just cycle lands that come in tapped. Monocolored, by the way. So this has been printed to death at least a dozen times. It's a 25-cent card, and I love cycling because I hate top decking something I don't need mid to late game and then just being stuck for the whole turn. So just toss it and draw something else. I love it, but a monocolored land that comes in tapped, well, you can't spend it this turn, so theoretically you might have just lost your turn because of that because you don't have enough mana to do what you need, or you can lose your turn later by drawing a mountain that you don't need. So lose your turn now, or maybe lose your turn later. It's enough of a toss-up that I would not put these in my deck unless I had a damn good reason to. If you're wondering why they're actually in this set, it's because this set cares about lands in your graveyard. That's the only reason. We did not need these. By the way, I said mid to late game. There is no mid to late game. This is Modern we're talking about. So these effectively have next to no use. Okay, here's the funny thing. You've probably seen this before, Hogak Arisen Necropolis, but it was an ass-quality cell phone picture, and it was leaked on Reddit. This, today, is Mark Rosewater's spoiler. So somebody, and I just cannot even imagine how this would happen, hates Mark Rosewater so much that they got a hold of his spoiler and spoiled it a day early. Oh well, I mean, maybe you should keep a tighter hold on your IP, Wizards, and specifically Mark. Next up, we got a Russian zombie. It's Carrion Feeder. It's a 1/1 zombie for 1, and zombies are in the set, of course. Carrion Feeder can't block. Okay. But get this, sack a creature, that's it for the cost on that ability, put a 1/1 counter on Carrion Feeder. It's not about getting him big, it's about a free sack outlet that costs 1 on a throwaway creature. That is ridiculous. I think one of the better ones in the game before this was like a 2-cost black Nantuko. But a recurring free sack outlet for like creatures you stole, tokens you don't need, it's a death trigger generator. I mean, holy crap, is this a significant card. Next up, we've got Charming Vampire, and he's just opening the door to buy some Girl Scout cookies like, yeah, my favorites, I love them, let me go get 20. So this is a 1/1 for 2 vampire rare, and when Charming Vampire or another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on each vampire creature you control. Holy crap. Well, that's overpowered as all hell and works perfectly with the last card I just spoiled. Not much more to say about that. Oh, there is much more to say about this. Oops, they didn't make this legendary. Whoopsies, good job, Wizards. So next up, we've got Rebuild. It's a 3-cost blue instant and looks like some kind of 80s let's all get together hipster crap. Oh good, return all artifacts to their owner's hands, cycling 2. Well, that costs 1 more than Hercule's Recall, which is a lot more. It is instant speed and it has cycling though, so I don't know. Is that worth it? Probably not. I mean, you either have the mana or you don't. Having 3 open versus 2 open to like emergency save your artifacts, boy, that's kind of a lot. But I also know that this is part of like some kind of weird ETB combo. Giving people like 2 of these, I guess, is something. Like maybe they could run Hercules and this, but I don't remember if there was a redundant card with Hercules already. I'm too lazy to look it up because I don't care about Modern. Y próxima tenemos carga temeraria, which obviously means temporal cargo. Just kidding, it means reckless charge. So this is a 1-cost red sorcery, not instant, so right off the bat, probably not good. Target creature gets +3 attack, +0 toughness, and gains haste until end of turn, but flashback 3. Oh, pardon me, I read that wrong. It's retrospectiva. I mean, it gets results, but you can't ambush anybody with it, which is really quite bad. 3 damage for 1 mana ain't no joke, but they're going to see it coming, and you don't boost your toughness at all. So, I don't know about the playability of this. But what I do know is that Desolator Magic es la YouTuber española número 1. Suck it, my fair MTG, you freaking Nazi bitch. Next up, Shenanigans. Now, I was 1,000,000% sure that this was a reprint because I swear I remember seeing the name somewhere, but I guess not. Hey, fun fact, there's only 13 mechanics on the Storm Scale that are listed 10 out of 10, and this is one of them, Dredge. But Des, don't you know the Storm Scale only applies to Standard? I don't care, I know that, yes, I am aware of that. It doesn't matter, it heavily implies that the mechanic is broken in all formats. Yes, they will put it in Standard when Hell freezes over, but that doesn't give them a free pass to put it in other formats. And let's see, what was one of the most recent bans? Oh yeah, they banned a card from Dredge, that stupid troll thing. You know, because Dredge is too damn good. It's obnoxious, degenerate, stupid garbage. Oh, by the way, fun fact, guess what else is on the Storm Scale as a 10? Storm, which is in this set, Slivers, which is in this set, and now Dredge, which is in this set. Oh boy, I can't wait to see Banding, and for some reason Intimidate and Regenerate are at 10. Okay. What the hell's wrong with them? I put them at maybe a 5, but geez, 10? So anyway, what this actual card does is Sorcery Speed, 2 cost, destroy target artifact, dredge 1. So if you would draw a card instead of drawing a card, you may put exactly 1 card from the top of your library into your graveyard. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand, otherwise draw a card. So without any dredge support in this set at all, this does next to nothing, because the problem with dredge is dredging dredge cards into the graveyard. So if they just put in 1, whatever, but this is like multi-flashback. I mean, you could destroy 1 artifact per turn for the rest of the game. That's kind of messed up. One of the most basic tenets of the game is that you don't have unlimited cards to play with, and when you play a spell, an instant or sorcery, it goes to the graveyard and stays there without something to bring it back. In Magic, things get real broken real quick if you could just cast a card unlimited times and you keep getting it back over and over and over. I mean, Scarab God, there you go. Need another example? Thing is, though, with Dredge 1, you have to give up your draw and potentially take a card you need and put it into the graveyard. So, boy, you would have to really want that artifact gone. So honestly, I don't know how good this would even be in draft, because how many artifacts is somebody really going to draft? And in Modern, I mean, sideboard maybe would be kind of cool. You know what? I like the name. Let's leave it at that. And speaking of leaving things where they are, they should have left Dredge as a 10 on the damn Storm Scale, never touched it again on any card ever. But in this particular case, in this instance, I don't really care. Oh, and I double don't care if this is going to be some new amazing good card in actual, like, constructed Dredge, because I hate that deck. I'm too lazy to look up the deck list and disinterested, and if I looked at the deck list, I'd probably throw up in my mouth a little bit. So let's just skip that and go to the next card, which is Tectonic Reformation. It's an enchantment, it costs 2, it's red. Each land card in your hand has cycling 1 red, and then this card has cycling 2. Just more filler crap because they wanted the draft scene to have, ooh, how many lands can we put in the graveyard? So just a dumb waste of a rare, basically. And then, well, if it's for draft, which is the whole lands in the graveyard thing is for draft. They already said that. Why is this a rare? So this must go in some deck or do something in like constructed outside of draft, and what that might be, I don't care. Probably something that wants lands in your graveyard. Cool, I don't care. Really don't. Like, it's a nice card, but if you're playing red, you want to do fast damage in almost every case. So, oh, I top decked a land I don't need. Cool. Who cares? This should have been a 3-1 with haste instead of a crappy enchantment that does nothing. So next up, Tribute Mage. It's a 2/2 human wizard 4/3, and when it enters battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost of exactly 2. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. And it doesn't have to be equipment. Interesting. Boy, that exactly 2 part is stupidly narrow. I'm sure this worked with something, but I don't really care what. Obviously, clearly, this is just a play on the card Trophy Mage, so I guess if you need to fetch 3, play that one, and if you need to fetch something that's 2, play this one. I'm sure it does something degenerate in some deck. Next up, Twisted Reflection. It's a 2-cost instant. Choose one. Target creature gets -6 attack until end of turn. Fun. Or switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn, and then entwine 1 black. You can do both. Yeah, if you entwine that, they're dead. I mean, this is kind of fun for like a blocking trick, but there are better ones than this in blue, by far, that cost 2. And for 2 at instant speed, you could just send the damn creature back to hand, but that entwine thing is kind of cool, but then it's off color, so I don't know, I don't think this is very good. Probably good in draft, though. Next up, Vesper Large. It's a 2/1 for 3 flying, and when it leaves the battlefield, return target creature card with power 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then evoke, you can just straight up cast this as like a non-creature spell. 1 or less, well that's some weak crap. Yeah, I'm sure there's some degenerate combo where you could go get an Ornithopter and that'll do something and whatever. I don't care. This is modern, I don't play it, I don't know it, I don't care. Can I make myself any clearer? People in the comments who seem to think that I'm some sort of expert on modern or have any interest in it whatsoever. I do not. And hallelujah, that's the last card. So they managed to, dig up Dredge. Another one of the mechanics where they're absolutely playing with fire. They are just determined to like douse the modern format in gasoline and then just keep chucking matches like this at it. And the whole time they're like, what's the worst that could happen? So one more thing, all my mental estimations thought that this was a 24 booster set because the price, the format, the set, everything indicated that it would be, but they just revealed very recently that's a 36 booster per box set, but they're keeping the 24 booster per box set price, I guess, per box, give or take, but the box doesn't have a price because they got rid of MSRPs. So this is a confusing, hard to estimate shit show, just like they wanted it apparently. So at 24, this would have been a devastating failure, like horrible, like one of the worst sets ever released in the history of the game financially. With the price being, $220-ish online per box, but you get 36 boosters, it's now been downgraded to an extremely poorly performing product with really bad prices. But I wouldn't call it a devastatingly Armageddon-sized failure. It's just going to be an extremely bad failure. Like I said, there are 9 rares, 9 of them, that have a value above the cost of a pack. The mythics are only okay, and I think the highest one didn't even clear $50. Ouch. Also, I think half the mythics are inflated by about 200%, and they aren't worth anywhere near that much. Also, I suspect, but boy are they not going to tell us, that 1 in 4 boosters has a foil, not 100% of the boosters. There goes, 20% the value of the set? Right down the toilet? Cool, yeah, this'll do well. So still going to be dead on Rival. It's just not quite as bad as I thought, but it's still horrible. Like, it'll be lucky if this EV clears the price of a box on day 1. So thanks for watching, and by the way, if you didn't get a notification for my video that was uploaded earlier today, the MTG Legends video, go check that out manually, I guess. I tried premiering it because I spent like 2 weeks researching, filming, and editing the video, and everything else on that playlist didn't even clear like 6,000 views, so that was time well spent. And then everybody didn't get a notification because I premiered it. Awesome. Thanks, YouTube. No wonder nobody does premieres anymore. Also, streaming appears to still be broken in OBS, so don't expect me to stream anytime soon unless I feel like using XSplit, which I absolutely do not. So that's the news updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.